morning, guys. We have an announcement for today. One of our big announcements this week is that we recently found out that we are expecting another little guy coming out soon. Little guy or girl, I guess we don't know the gender yet. But Anna is now second trimester. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I'm through the hardest part of the first trimester and I got a lot of my energy back, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're excited that we get to grow our family. Now we'll be a family of 5, and we'll have some more help around here on the homestead. So we're gonna keep you guys in the loop, keep you guys updated. We're gonna try to video as much as we can and document the whole process.
Yeah, we're excited. What do you guys think about having another sibling? Yeah?
Hey guys, today we're going to be removing our remaining garden beds, and then we're going to be taking those cinder blocks and using it for a fire pit in front of our house.
like that, we have a cleared spot for our kitchen garden. Exciting.
Wider, or is that good?
So we've been getting a lot of questions lately, and we're going to try to address a few of those now. One of the most frequently asked questions we've gotten is, why did you choose a Belgian Malinois when there's a lot of other dogs, cattle dogs, and things that homesteaders typically pick? I think Brock would probably be the best to answer that question.
Yeah, so it's a really good question, especially when looking at homesteaders as a whole and farm operations. Not a lot of people go with Belgian Malinois, and that's totally understandable. A Malinois is a very active dog, a dog that needs to be trained. And for us, the reason we did go with the Malinois was mainly for protective purposes. We have a really big property here. Chopper's going to be able to watch over our property when we can't, as in when we're sleeping or maybe we're inside working, whatever it is. He's going to provide that first line of defense for us, whether it's just a bark or some verbal cue that lets us know that someone's out there that we don't want to be out there. This way we could just make sure that our boys are all right, that Anna and myself are all right, and that we just take proper precautions when protecting our land and kind of our lifestyle. So again, very trainable dog. We'll be able to do a lot of good things with him, but definitely will require a lot of work and not advisable for everybody. But for our specific situation, I've worked with a lot of canine dogs in the past. My dad's a canine officer, and we've had a lot of experience of dealing with them. So
yeah, a lot of people have specifically asked about like the training, because it's really important to train a Belgian Malinois really well, but they're also very trainable. They're very smart, intelligent dogs, and so one thing I'd point out is like Brock is a certified dog trainer. He's trained dogs before. He's good at it. Like you said, his dad is a canine cop. He's very used to being around dogs like Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds. These really smart, really well-bred dogs. He's just used to it, and he's good at doing it.
I mean, it's a good thing for our boys to be around. With the Malinois, you have to have a level of discipline. You know, you have to set a standard with them when you're training them, and it's just good for the boys to see that as well, to see the standard and the discipline that goes into every day. I have to wake up and I have to train this dog, and if I want the dog to be able to work for us and with us, then we have to put in the time to train them.
So another question we've been getting a lot is, how do you afford to do this, and do you have a full-time job? I think the first thing to address there is, yes, Dross does have a full-time job.
Yep.
We didn't quit our day jobs. I'll let you explain your work, Brock.
Yeah, I work in tech. I work remotely. It's been a few years coming to be able to get that opportunity to work remotely, but did my time, got a remote job, really enjoy that side of my life, and we enjoy that work. And again, it provides us the opportunity to live out here, and live out here somewhere really remote and really rural, with the opportunity to kind of work wherever.
I think also when it comes to affordability, all people are seeing is what we're doing right now, but they haven't seen what we've been doing the last few years. So over the last few years, we made some really drastic changes in our family's life so that we could live the kind of lifestyle that we wanted. For example, we wanted to be a one-income household and get used to living off of that so that I could stay home and focus on raising our kids. And so we made a huge shift. I quit my job. Brock took on the role of being full-time provider, and that was a major shift in our finances. We had to figure that out. We had to get used to it. And obviously, as years go on, things get better. One person is able to earn more. But at first, it was really drastic. It was a big change for us and a huge adjustment. But we figured that out before we came here. We didn't just do it all at once. And so now we're used to living off of one income. We understand how to budget it and how to do it. And we're able to come up with creative ways to make money off of the homestead and various, projects and things that we have on the side. And also, a lot of people think that our property cost us like $1 million, and it absolutely didn't. I understand when people think that, because when we were living on the other side of the country, it would have cost us $1 million to get, 5 acres. But out here in West Virginia, we're able to afford 57 acres. And this beautiful old home and all these cabins and things for $295K. That to us was a really affordable price, even though it was at the top of our budget. It's very affordable for what you're getting. So we have, I would say, a reasonable mortgage, a monthly payment that we are comfortable making, that we had already been making for renting. And overall, our costs, since you work remotely, we're home a lot, we cook from scratch, we don't go out to eat, we don't buy a lot of new things, we fix a lot of things that are broken. Doing things like that helps keep our cost of living pretty low.
Yeah, I agree. And to her point, we've done a lot of side hustles, so to speak, in the past, whether it was taking on a job part-time, whether it was trying to sell some product.
Another thing that we should address is we went on a trip last week, which is why not a lot of progress got done in particular last week, because we took our first family vacation in 2 years. And unfortunately, it wasn't exactly the vacation that we had imagined. And we actually had a bit of an emergency on the way back that we thought we would tell you guys about.
So yeah, like Anna mentioned, we did just go on a trip. On the way back, we were making our way through the Shenandoah Mountains, and we had some car difficulties. Our truck was really struggling to get up and down some of the mountains over there, and it was kind of a peculiar situation because the RV that we do have is fairly light in terms of fifth wheels, and the truck that we do have is pretty powerful. And one of the reasons we did get the truck that we did was so that we could be comfortable with our entire family, towing it and just making sure that we're being safe. So when we did start our journey back home, we started struggling going up and down these hills. Come to find out, our transmission was overheating. It got to a point where our transmission shot up 100 degrees within about 5 minutes, maybe even less than that. We decided to kind of come back home really late, so it was in the middle of the night. It was around 1 a.m. We were going up one of the biggest points in all of West Virginia, actually, and our transmission gave out on us. We just bought this truck a few months ago. We had no idea that the transmission was bad and faulty, but we were on top of a mountain there in West Virginia, and our truck gave out on us. We had to actually stop the fifth wheel uphill. Like I said, we were on a 7% grade. There was no turnoffs. We couldn't make it up the hill, so we just had to plant our vehicle there, put on the parking brake, hold the brakes, and just hope that we weren't going to roll downhill. I know you were sleeping at the time. What do you remember?
Yeah, well, this actually happened really, really quickly. So I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, how did you not know something was wrong with your transmission? There really weren't many warning signs. Our truck did overheat on our way down on our vacation one time, but it wasn't that serious. We stopped, it cooled down, and we kept going. And then when this incident happened, so I actually woke up from my little nap, and in about a matter of like 30 to 60 seconds, the thermometer on our truck, the thermometer reading for our transmission, started telling us that it went from like a normal reading of like 160 all the way up to 285 in a matter of 30 to 60 seconds. So it just like jumped in an instant, like just the same amount of time that it took us to make the decision that we needed to shut our engine off. It was really fast, and we're really lucky our engine didn't just blow up or something. Lord was definitely protecting us, and very glad that we're okay. So we were stuck on the side of this mountain for about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, until a car finally came by. We had no service, so we couldn't call 911. We tried, Brock got out of the car and tried to find service. We were at least 30 miles away from service. So anyways, this car finally came by after an hour and a half of sitting there, and he went down the mountain and called 911 for us. Yeah. And then the fire department and a towing company came to save us.
Yeah, granted, it's 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. in the morning by this time, pitch black. We have no service. We've been driving for about 5 hours now, so it was a very peculiar situation. We're very thankful someone did drive by. When they drove by, I waved them down. When they were driving down the mountain, it just so happened that the volunteer fire department was actually out fighting a fire. And because of that, they had been right there on the road when the vehicle came by, so they were able to stop. And thankfully, they were able to tell the volunteer fire department that we were stuck up there. They came up there. They were also part of the towing company, the Varner's Towing and Recovery, which is located in Durban and Beverly, West Virginia. We highly, highly, highly recommend these guys if you're ever in trouble. The main owner there, his name's Buster, and he's just a phenomenal person. They helped us out. So thankful. They pulled our truck and our fifth wheel to the top of the mountain, which again, there's no way we would have made it up there. And then it just so happens that that gentleman, Buster, was also the owner of a motel in the city of Durban.
So long story short, Varner's and the fire department saved us. We are super grateful for them. Again, we really recommend Varner's Towing Company. If anything like this ever happens to you in that area of West Virginia, we're very grateful to be okay. We did eventually make it to a dealership, and we were able to store our RV somewhere, and we're going to be able to get our car fixed. It's covered under a warranty, so we're super, super lucky, and we're very just grateful that, you know, the Lord was looking out for us and that everyone's okay. So another question we've been getting a lot is, what is a natural gas well? We've told people that we have a natural gas well on our property. We have the rights to one. And how does it work?
Yeah, so a lot of people are confused that we do have free gas, unlimited gas, unmetered gas, whatever you want to call it. We do have the ability to use as much gas as we want here on our property. And that's actually a really interesting story that dates back all the way to the early 1900s, late 1800s. The original owner of this property was met with a question whether he wanted $300 in cash or unlimited gas from a new up-and-coming gas company that was trying to incentivize people to move here and to boost the local economy here, as this was once a bustling oil and gas town. And the original owners that lived here were a rather wealthy family at the time. You got to think late 1800s, early 1900s, $300 would have been a lot of money back then. They actually decided to keep the gas rights, and for that they were granted unlimited gas indefinitely for the future, and that has been inherited by us as the legal owners of the property now. And because of that, we now have free gas. So as we've shown in previous videos, our gas inlet is not metered at all. Our gas runs from the same gas companies that run everybody else's house down the road, but ours is unique in that it's not metered. So because of that, A, we can rely on reliable gas influx from the gas company itself, but B, we are unmetered, and because we are unmetered, we can use as much gas as we want. We have 3 fireplaces going pretty much at all times during the winter, gas fireplaces. We have a gas oven, gas water heater, and a few other gas appliances that, because we do have an unmetered gas well, that we can use it as much as we want. And from what we know, there's only one other house in this entire area that agreed to those terms. So this is definitely a very unique property. You don't hear about this very often. And for us, we're one of the only people that we've ever heard of something like this happening.
So another frequently asked question that we've been getting is, what will you do when you have to send your kids to school? A lot of people are very concerned because we live in a rural area. They're concerned that there aren't any schools around here. Do we even have a public school? Are there private schools? What do you do? How do you educate your kids? So there is a public school here. We definitely will not be sending our children to a public school. We plan to homeschool our children. I was homeschooled growing up. My parents gave me an excellent education. I'm really, really grateful for that. And I went on to, get a great degree in college and a master's degree. And so I feel, very equipped to educate our children. There's also actually a really thriving homeschool community in this area that we'll plan to be a part of to the extent that we can. And we really think homeschool is the best way to do it. I think these kids really often turn out to be very bright, to get a better education that's more personalized to them and their needs than just about any other system. Kids also get to spend far more time outside, which is really, really important to us, especially with little boys who need to run around and be wild and free. We want them to have less time inside in a concrete classroom with fluorescent lights and way more time running around outside, exploring, building, which is how kids actually learn. So yeah, homeschooling is the choice for us, at least for the near future where our children are young.
Yeah, we believe that it's our job as parents to nurture and train up our kids in a way that's, one, honoring to God, but another way that teaches them and instills in them a very strong foundation of knowledge. And we believe, our personal conviction is that we don't want to pawn that off to anybody else. We believe that it's our responsibility to learn the material, teach the material to our kids. That way we can set them up for success. In a very 2025 Homestead X fashion, we also have a strong disdain for the government and definitely do not trust the Department of Education.
So the final question that we've been getting a lot is, what is the gender of our third baby that we're expecting? So I'm about 16 weeks along now, and we did find out the gender. You can actually find out the gender at 13 weeks now through an ultrasound. You can also find out through a blood test, but there's plenty of gender reveal clinics out there where you can find out. So we know the gender. We're not actually going to be sharing it yet. We'll be sharing it soon though. We probably won't be doing a big gender reveal. We're not really gender reveal kind of people in the sense that we're going to, launch some confetti rocket or something. But we'll definitely be sharing it when we feel ready. We're very excited. We're very grateful to be growing our family. It's just a really special time.
Yeah, and the baby is healthy, mom is healthy, so we're very thankful for that. And we're going to continue monitoring both of their health and praying that everything goes well. But in the meantime, they're both doing a really good job. Mom is doing a really good job, and the baby is doing really well in there. So we are very thankful for that.